Capricorn, this is your week ahead astrology forecast from Astrology Motivation by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. In this reading, we're going to review the major planetary aspects and transits and how they impact your natal sun and what that means for your life. Now, where your natal sun is told to you by your natal chart. I will give you like estimates of the correlating dates of the month so that you'll know by your birth date, but the best and most accurate is to know where your natal sun is located in the zodiac sign of Capricorn. It sits on one of the 30 degrees of Capricorn. So getting your natal chart is not difficult. All you got to do is search it online, free natal chart. Tons of websites will pop up and you can just hop right on. You'll need your birth date, your birth time, and your birthplace, all of which you can find on your birth certificate. And with that information, just log that in and it'll spit it out in a couple of seconds and you will know where all your placements are. So if your natal sun is located somewhere between 0 and 9 degrees Capricorn, you are Capricorn 1. Because your natal sun falls within the first decan or group of 10 degrees of Capricorn. If your natal sun falls between 10 and 19 degrees Capricorn, you are Capricorn 2. And if your natal sun falls between 20 and 29 degrees Capricorn, you are Capricorn 3. We're going to start really broad with the stuff that's going on that really is going to impact everybody. And then we're going to focus specifically on what all Capricorn should be paying attention to. And then we're going to break it down into those different decans and tell you how things are impacting your natal sun specifically. I highly recommend that you watch the entire video because there's a lot of crossing over. The planets aren't transiting between zodiac signs at this week, but they are transiting between the decans. So definitely some things will affect you in the beginning of the week that won't affect you at the end of the week, while others will get it at the end of the week. So it's best to listen to the whole video. So let's start out with what is happening. Now, there's no transits this week, no major transits. We had so much happening last week, but no major transits. This is the week of April 26th through May 2nd of 2023, as it says in the title and on the thumbnail of this video. So it goes from today, Wednesday, through next Tuesday. But there are some major transits that we do have to pay attention to, and all together definitely flavor this week. We have Jupiter square to Pluto. We have Venus square to Neptune. We have Mars says a square to Saturn. We have Mars square to Chiron. And of course, Mercury is still in retrograde, conjunct to Uranus for the first 2 days of this week. And then by the end of the week, it's conjunct to the Sun. On May 1st, it will be perfectly conjunct to the Sun at 11 degrees Taurus. What does all this mean? This is not a week for progress. This is a week for revelation. And in fact, I wrote down here, it's a horrible time for progress, almost a cosmic trap. And that's kind of what it is. It's like we're being set up to be super vulnerable for all that toxic crap that needs to come back up, and we have to confront it. Why would the universe do this to us? Because somewhere in the confrontation of that toxic crap, our catharsis is the catharsis that we need to close out these situations. So it's almost like, oh my God, those texts from the exes will be coming in and we'll be falling for them for one reason, because we need closure. And that is exactly what we're supposed to be doing. It is, I feel, the Jupiter square Pluto is like the roto-rooter of the week. It is, I am going to get through this. I will not take no for an answer. It's relentless, it's ruthless, and it's powerful. It's action-packed. Sometimes its energy and intensity is very poorly placed and actually puts people off. But I think in this energy, we need the clearing and we need the intensity. And certainly it's going to help us clean out and clear out those clogs that have kind of been holding us back in a lot of ways that maybe we just had lost track of. So what do all Capricorns need to focus on? You guys need to focus on Saturn, because Saturn is your ruling dignitary. Always knowing what is happening to it and where it is. Saturn right now for this whole week is at 5 degrees Pisces. I got my notes written down. That's what I'm looking at. It's at 5 degrees Pisces. It's going to be in Pisces for the next 3 years. It'll be in the first decan of Pisces for the next year. So not completely 3 years, but almost 3 years. It's like 2.8 years. So Saturn is in Pisces, and we discussed all about what that meant when Saturn moved into Pisces. But it's still sextile to the North Node and trine to the South Node, which means that it is about progress and moving forward and about life changes and almost excited for the future based on harmony with the past. And that's actually a really positive and progressive place for it to be in. It just means that you're turning a corner in your life and the future is bright. This week, it is says a square to Mars, which is very frustrating energy. This sense of people not doing things correctly, trying to move too quickly, maybe things not going as expected, especially maybe with family situations, family matters. Different kinds of frustration arise there because Mars is in Cancer and it's super sensitive right now. So maybe nothing that I do or any action that I take is correct, that kind of energy. Saturn is also going to be sextile the Sun, which the Sun is conjunct the North Node for most of this week. What does that mean? Saturn sextile the Sun means opportunities, especially opportunities or breakthroughs when it comes to confidence around what you do or your job, your work, your vocation. And since it's conjunct the North Node, it definitely means a new turn, a turn toward the future. So it's a great week to look for future opportunities in terms of career, to at least suss it out and understand what you desire or what you want to do moving forward. It's a great place to put your energy. It's not necessarily the best week or the best month for that matter to put in a resume, but it is a great time to dig deep and really understand this is what I'm good at and this is what I'm going to start to prepare for. On April 29th to 30th, Saturn will be in direct opposition to the moon, which is at that point moving between Leo and Virgo. Ultimately, what does this mean? An emotional day filled with worry or concern, maybe about family members, things that are happening to them, or tension within the family. That's only one day. It doesn't last long, but it can get a little bit tense and grinding. Thank God the moon moves quickly, man. I got to tell you. So Capricorn 1. Your natal sun is sextile to Saturn, and Saturn is going to be, says a square to Mars all week. Sextile to Saturn with your natal suns is really fantastic energy. Since you are ruled by Saturn, this is kind of harmony in yourself, harmony in your purpose, and it also means kind of breakthroughs with where you're headed or opportunities with career. So it's basically, because Saturn is kind of compromised by that says a square to Mars a little bit, there could be frustration in actually getting something done, but laying out the groundwork and setting up opportunities for yourself is really awesome. Even since Saturn is in Pisces, creating opportunities that weren't there before and having the courage to do so is exactly what the universe is calling you to do right now or for the next year, since your natal suns will be sextile to Saturn for the next year. This is a longer term aspect. Longer term aspect also is your square to Neptune, which puts you, especially this week because Mercury is in retrograde and because Venus is square to Neptune by I think the 29th, a little bit more vulnerable, I gotta say, when it comes to believing people, compromising your own sense of self-worth, to impress others that don't deserve it, talking to those exes when you should not be, spending too much money because you didn't understand things correctly, basically making irresponsible decisions because of brain fog. So it isn't the greatest time to go after something, but it is a great time to dream something up and consider things and conceptualize and create. This week, your natal suns are trine to Jupiter, which is a blessing. This is harmony in growth and productivity, harmony for your future. So you're really kind of this is a great week for you to put together the direction you want your future to head in. Jupiter is square to Pluto all week, which adds an intensity for you, but that is a secondary relative aspect. It's not the aspect that's direct to your sun. Your natal sun is trine to Jupiter, so there will be a real sense of readiness and preparedness to grow, expand, and harmony with the direction that you want to go. So if you've had those puzzles or your head scratching about which direction, which is my next move, this is the good week to settle in and get comfortable with where your next move is going to be. Capricorn ones, basically you are December Capricorns, or basically up through December 29th. You are December Capricorns. I usually include cuspers in this as well. So that's correlating dates, but like I said, they're not exact. Always check your natal chart for your exact degree. Capricorn 2s. Your natal sun this week is in a very difficult position because it's square to Chiron, but it's not just for this week. That has actually been for a while. It's long term. And so if you have been struggling with yourself, doubting yourself, or finding that you have to work through a lot of suffering and self-doubt, it is because your natal suns are square to Chiron, and it's trying to teach you compassion and empathy and a deeper understanding of yourself as a human being by putting you through the shit and making you question your own self-worth. Squares or oppositions to Chiron are very difficult because your self-worth is always in question and because they last a long time. There is nothing right now exacerbating Chiron. A couple months ago when everything was in Aries, it was a hell of a time for you. That has passed, and I think if you made it through that, this week is going to be pretty smooth sailing when it comes to Chiron. Though for the next year or so, it is definitely going to be a challenge for you. That will, like a pattern that keeps creeping up every once in a while. Your natal suns this week are trine to Mercury retrograde and trine to Uranus, and by May 1st it will be trine to the Sun, and the Sun will be conjunct to Mercury retrograde. Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde is a revelation, a brilliant discovery, understanding, or communication that finally comes through, that should have come through for a while, but it didn't. It's kind of like a message in a bottle. There's no such thing as too late. It is divine timing, but the retrograde is bringing it back to you or helping you see something. This is going to bring a great deal of harmony into your life and actually smooth things out for you. Mercury in general is going to be trine to your natal suns, and Uranus has been trine to your natal suns for a while. This is happiness and balance when it comes to surprises or things that are surprising you. It's like you're learning how to be more harmonious with things that are unexpected and out of the ordinary, and kind of welcome them in, at least want to try them. This curiosity may not be normal for you, but it is definitely what you're going to be experiencing over the next couple of years. It's a long-term aspect, and it's fun and it's playful, and I think it's actually also brilliant. You'll want to do things that are outside of your normal constructed box, and so you're expanding and growing, especially through education and intellect. But trine to Mercury retrograde is this week. It actually means that you're going to get messages, or you're going to realize things that are actually going to help you be at peace with yourself. That you actually kind of need is going to be kind of reconcile things for you or issues for you. So that's actually quite a blessing. Okay, let's move on to Capricorn 3s. So Capricorn 3s, Your natal suns, especially if you are on the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius, long term, we talk about this every week, is conjunct to Pluto. This gives you a very powerful energy. But this week, since Pluto is also square to Jupiter, this is like on crack growth and expansion, and it will blow apart your cocoon and force you into the butterfly stage. You are ready for change, you are insistent upon it, and this is when all those blockages get cleared. There is a sextile to Neptune, which means creativity. The natal sun's sextile Neptune is exceptional creativity, groundbreaking creativity, and this could be part of what actually blows through or explodes outward when it comes to that Pluto conjunction, that Pluto, and also that Pluto square to Jupiter this week. Pluto, your natal suns are also square to Jupiter because they are. And what does that mean? It means growth, but bumpy roads. It means almost getting ahead of yourself or wanting too much or expecting too much. So the big challenge when it comes to your natal sun square to Jupiter is don't let yourself get such a big head. Slow yourself down and see the beauty in every single moment, especially the little things. And then you also have a quincunx to Venus by April 28th. This could just mean a little bit of tension, hesitation, or confusion when it comes to what you value or people valuing you. There could be some friction that's happening. It's not a great time to redo your hair or restyle or redesign your home. It's just like, let this pass. It will pass by the end of this week. Just minor tensions that could actually be exacerbated by Venus's square to Neptune, which makes things seem like they're there or make you believe things that are really, if you were in your right mind, you wouldn't believe. So this tension could be coming from sort of phantoms that you're giving too much attention to. So definitely don't make any major decisions, especially with regards to your romantic relationships this week. Just wait for it to pass, and then you'll be seeing things a little bit more clearly. Your self-respect and self-esteem will be back intact. I love you guys so much, and I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope it's helped. Please do leave your comments below. I love to know. Remember to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up, and please come along and join me for your week ahead tarot card reading over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week.